Hi, this is McGann Layton, Colonial Presbyterian Church. We're over at the Warnell campus, and we are live to cover our food pantry. We are going to talk about 5 things you don't know about our Colonial food pantry. The first one being, where is it? So if you come in from the parking lot, I'm going to flip this around and show you where it is. You come in from the parking lot, you come by the lovely Marge receptionist desk. Hi, Marge. You walk on around the corner and you will see this hallway, and we've got the food pantry is right here on the right, and we've got some of our happy volunteers in here today. There's Larry, there's Sherry, and the other Larry. That's a partial requirement for working in the food pantry, is to be named Larry or Sherry. But I'm just going to show you around what's in the food pantry. So we've got, these are our shelves of government food that we receive through the TFAP program, the Emergency Food Assistance Program. And over here is the church food. These are items that either have been donated by families, or we go and purchase these items from the Harvesters Food Bank. So that's the first thing you might not know about the food pantry, is where it is. So it's up here at the Warnell campus behind the receptionist desk. The second thing I want to tell you is who runs the food pantry. It is not run by staff. It is run by all these volunteers that you see. And Sherry Bain over here is one of our key volunteers. And Sherry has been serving here in the pantry for 6 years already. Yeah. And there are many other volunteers.
Larry White needs to be.
Larry White is another key volunteer. Larry and Sherry are both here every Tuesday and Thursday when the pantry's open. So it's open from 10:30 to 1:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we've also got other volunteers. There's Larry in the back who work on packing the groceries. So you see the groceries over here, they're ready to go. So we've got some volunteers that come in on Tuesday and take care of that. And then there are even a few more volunteers that go around to some stores and do some local pickups. So that is one thing I do want to share with you.
If you are interested in serving in the pantry, we would love to talk to you about that. It doesn't have to be every month. It could be just once a month, or whenever you have time, because we do need additional volunteers and some backup people. We'd love for you, if you have a heart and a passion to help those that are in need in our community and our neighborhood, give us a call and we'll talk to you about how you can get plugged in here at the pantry. So those are the 2 things, where it is and who runs it. The third thing I want to talk about is who can come to the pantry, and I'm going to go back to Sherry for that. Sherry, who qualifies to come to our food pantry?
Anyone that lives within 64114, 131, or 132 zip codes are qualified to come.
Okay.
And they can come once a month because we have government subsidized food.
Right.
And that's a requirement.
And that food, one of the qualifications for that is you have to have an income of 125% of the poverty level. So for a family of 4, that's about $2,600 a month. So if you're that or below that and you live in those zip codes, you can come into the pantry. Or if you're a church member and in need, we'll also take care of those that attend here as well. And then I wanted to talk to Sherry too about, because Sherry does a great job of, actually this is a ministry, right, Sherry? It's not just handing out the food. Sherry gets to know a lot of these folks that come in and prays with them if they want that. We don't force prayer on anybody, but we do offer prayer, and Sherry listens and prays with them. So give me a couple examples, Sherry, of people that might come in to our pantry.
We have a lot of elderly people, and I have one gentleman that comes, very sweet, dear man, very gracious. He is taking care of a very sick wife. He's about 70, and he's a Vietnam veteran. And he also has his own illnesses, which requires them to both take a lot of very high-priced medications.
Right.
Medicare covers some, and most of these people are living on their Social Security.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
So he has to decide, do we get these medicines this month? Do we just let the electric bill slide, or do we not eat?
Right.
And he says this is what gets them through every month, is to be able to come here.
Right.
Then I have several grandparents and several great-grandparents that have taken on their grandchildren because otherwise they would be in the system because the parents have just, for whatever reasons, aren't able to take care of them. And they do not get any assistance from the government. So when you go from a family of 2 elderly people feeding 4 or 5 little mouths of hungry children, it eats up your food.
Right. And especially during the summer months, that's why we're having a food drive this month, is all those kids are home when school is out, and so they're not getting that school lunch. So we're trying to help out those families too that are taking care of the kiddos. And it's not a ton of food that people get here. We give them, we try to pack a 3 to 4 day supply. This is an emergency food pantry, so we try to pack 3 to 4 days worth of food, and that equates to some canned goods, some pasta, some sauces, detergent, and then what else do we give them, Larry? What else goes into a typical
we
bag?
hope to have a can of fruit in there, and of course a good balance of vegetables, peanut butter,
and the meat that we have
Right.
frozen meats that we
we're
try to
getting
put
a
in
good
there.
variety of things. Sometimes we get pre-packaged meals. Now that we're picking up so many different places, so
Yeah.
it's a good variety.
Yeah. So again, hopefully it's a 3 or 4 day supply of food that helps somebody. It's totally not replacing their whole groceries for the month, and they can only come in once per month as per the government requirements. But let's see, what else was I going to tell them about? Oh, the last thing you might not know, let me flip this around, about the pantry is we are having a food drive this month. So the month of June, we're focusing on our food pantry here at Warnell, and we're also going to focus on the garden out at Quivira, and the two of those work hand in hand. They bring over a lot of the produce that's grown by volunteers at the Quivira site, and they bring it over here and pass it out to the families that come in here. So the food drive is going to be June 24th. That's a Sunday, and we're just asking you to rethink how this food drive is going to go. So typically, in the past, and I'm speaking from experience here, when there's a food drive, you go to your cupboard and you pull out the 10 cans that you haven't eaten in this past year, and you'll bring those in to the food drive. So I'm guilty of doing that myself. So instead of that, this time we're asking if you could just bring in your $10 instead of those 10 cans, because all these foods that you see over here on the shelves we purchase these at the Harvesters Food Bank. So we can take your $10, and sometimes we can buy 100 cans of food with that $10 because they'll sell them to us for 10 cents a can. And you'll go to the grocery store and buy only 10 cans. So it's a huge difference, a huge savings. Your money's going to go a lot further if you donate the cash. So that's what we're shooting for this month with the food drive. You can donate at any time. You can donate online through the website. You can bring your money on the 24th if you want. If you do put it in the offering plate, just please mark it in a very good way for the food pantry. Or you can drop a check in the mail, however you want to do it. But hopefully it's going to be more convenient for you to donate to the pantry in this way than it is to even bring in a whole bag of cans. If you want to bring in cans, please do. We will still accept those on the 24th, and we will add them to our collection here. But we're just trying to do it a little differently this time with the food drive. And I had another thought about the food drive. Larry, what was it? The food drive, June 24th. We'll be there at the doors to collect if you want to make a donation to the pantry. Oh, I know what it was. We're not asking you to switch your giving to the operations budget at Colonial at all. We're not wanting you to take that money and move it over to the food pantry. We're just asking you, instead of bringing in those 10 cans, just bring in your $10, and that will go a long way for our budget. The food pantry is not in the Colonial budget. It's just happens through donors who give to the pantry, and a little bit comes from the Deacon Crisis Fund that that offering is taken each month. So we would love for you to contribute to the food drive June 24th or anytime this month. You can contribute to the pantry in those ways that I mentioned and help us out. They usually see, all my volunteers are working, they usually see about 250 or so families every month here at the food pantry. So it's a lot of meals that you'd be providing for a lot of families with the similar stories that Sherry was talking about. So please help us out if you can. And those are 5 things you might not have known about the Colonial Food Pantry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.